Good evening. Welcome to the Hayward City Council. Today is March 5th, 2024. I'd like to call this meeting to order. If I can turn to Councilmember George Syrup to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand if you're able.
Thank you. And Madam City Clerk, if you can take the roll.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and council members. Councilmember Andrews.
Present.
Councilmember Bonilla Jr.
Present.
Councilmember Goldstein.
Present.
Councilmember Roach. Present. Councilmember Syrup.
Present.
Councilmember Cermeño. Mayor Salinas.
Present. Thank you.
Thank you.
I also like to call upon our city attorney. I believe he is online. If he could give a closed session announcement.
Greetings, Council. The Council convened in closed session on February 27th at 5:30 pursuant to posted notice in the Brown Act. With all members present and no public speakers, the Council discussed 1, labor negotiations, took no reportable action. 2, the Council discussed the annual performance evaluation of the city clerk, took no reportable action. The closed session adjourned at 7:40 p.m. Be it noted, for this meeting, Councilmember Bonilla Jr. attended remotely pursuant to the relevant government code section, with posting occurring at the remote location. Further, Councilmember Goldstein participated remotely under the just cause provisions of AB 2449 as codified in the California Government Code. That completes the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. I'd like to move on now to public comments. The public comment section provides an opportunity to address the City Council on items not listed on the agenda or informational staff presentation items. The Council welcomes comments and requests that speakers present their remarks in a respectful manner within established time limits and focus on issues which directly affect the city within the jurisdiction of the city. As the council is prohibited by state law from discussing items not listed on the agenda, items will be taken under consideration and may be referred to staff. The city council welcomes comments, including criticisms about the policies, procedures, programs, or services of the city, or of the acts or omissions of the city council. Speakers shall not use threatening, profane, or abusive language which disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of a city council. The city is committed to maintaining a workplace free of unlawful harassment and is mindful that city staff regularly attend council meetings. Discriminatory statements or conduct that is hostile, intimidating, oppressive, or abusive are per se disruptive to a meeting and will not be tolerated. Public comment via Zoom has been suspended. So I'd like to, we have 2 cards for public comment. First card is Mr. Jesse Gunn.
All right, red means go, right? Hello, my name is Jesse Gunn, resident and teacher here in Hayward. First, I wanted to thank the mayor and city staff for your quick action at the last council meeting and your careful action in trying to limit the hate speech as much as possible, and it is appreciated and it is noticed. I'm actually here on behalf of Hayward teachers. As you know, our Hayward City Council meetings are not the only ones that have faced very hateful rhetoric in the past. Our school board meetings have as well. And so many teachers have gotten together with the idea of standing together, united against hate. That if we can drown out all the hate with all of the cooperation across political ideologies, across beliefs, across backgrounds, if we can come together and be louder than the hate, then that's how we win. And so I wanted to come and present this to you. This was done by an artist in Berkeley in 2017 that created similar signs in response to white supremacist rallies that were happening in Berkeley and San Francisco. And it was a teacher's idea that we print some of these and we display them in classrooms and we give them to influential leaders in the community that can say, yes, we will also stand united against hate. Now, this is just words. There's no policy here. There's nothing to do with this. If anything, it's a very superficial statement to just hang up a poster, except that it's an invitation to cooperate. It's an invitation to say, let's work together on this. And so if it's okay, I'd love to come bring each one of you one of these. We had 7 left tonight. It was by a miracle. That's exactly how many we need. So,
You just give it to the city clerk
Yeah.
and then she'll give it to us.
all right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Next speaker is Tyne Johnson, Commissioner Tyne Johnson.
Hello, hi, how's everyone doing tonight? My name is Tyne Johnson. I am on the CSC Commission, and I just came to have public comment regarding, I wasn't at this meeting. It was posted on YouTube on February 10th regarding some of the council people, I'll say people because I don't know, it's indicative of who said what, who said that the CSC is off the rails. I personally want to say that I condemn those comments, given that we're all volunteering our time. There are many women and people of color who are on this commission that really deeply care about the work and deeply care about making the city of Hayward better. This commission is special because we are all civically engaged and we have strong conversations about how we can make the city of Hayward better. By taking away some of the broad aspects, it doesn't necessarily make us, well, I will say this, taking away some of the broad aspects of CSC is hard to facilitate change. And our goal is not to be a lame duck committee, it's to be civically engaged. When you have civically engaged young adults and people in general, you get the Voting Acts right, you get the Civil Rights Acts right, you get a lot of change done. And I think that's important for you all to know, that we aren't off the rails, but we deeply care about our community. We deeply care about being engaged and leading the way for change. And I say this says a lot about most commissions, right? Where people are just signing up, giving their time and just crossing a box. For us, it means that we want to see a different Hayward that allows everyone to feel safe, everyone to feel heard and comfortable in their communities. I personally would like to invite each one of the council members to come to our next meeting, which I believe will be March 20th. We're still in the process of giving away some of the funding and approving some of the funding before it comes to city council. But I'm inviting you because I want you all to hear the conversations, the thought process, the engagement level that we all take part in. So I want to say thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm very thankful to be chosen, to be appointed, and to participate and to make a lot of the relationships, which I would never have if I didn't come out my house. And so I just want to say thank you for that and to think about some of the things that you guys say, especially in broad public, especially about people who are not getting paid. They're volunteering their time, but also passionate about making a difference. Thank you.
Thank you. And so since I don't see any other speaker cards, I'd like to close public comment, move on to city manager's comments.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple quick announcements. First, I wanted to announce that the City of Hayward has been selected for CARB, which I believe is the California Air Resource Board, FY 22-23 Clean Mobility in Schools and Sustainable Transportation Equity Project, which provides grant funding for the Safe Routes and Active Transportation for Schools and Underserved Communities project. The purpose of this project is to provide and promote safe, affordable, active transportation while reducing transportation-related emissions for residents, especially in disadvantaged communities. The award amount of $6.2 million can provide safe route to school infrastructure upgrades, a citywide bike voucher program, bike parking installations, and active transportation education and promotion, including bike classes, engagement events, and crossing guard training. The city will be partnering with HUSD and other community-based organizations to engage vulnerable residents and increase community participation in the decision-making process around the use of these grant funds. And also the mayor and I will be meeting with the superintendent and school board president to discuss how we can best utilize these funds. So very exciting grant award and super grateful to our transportation engineering staff. Thank you. You can clap for that for sure. Secondly, I want to invite all members of the public to participate in a survey that the Hayward Public Library is conducting. Many of you may know that the Hayward Public Library is in the process of developing a new strategic plan for its operations and would love to have as much community participation and input as possible. We would like to hear from library users as well as those who don't use the library, and we invite anyone to complete a community input survey. This will remain open until March 17th. It can be completed in English, Spanish, or Chinese and takes less than 10 minutes to complete. Links to the survey can be found on the library's social media sites, including Facebook at facebook.com/Hayward Library. And I know some council members have already been sharing links to the survey on their social media as well. I also believe you can find the survey on the library's webpage. So those are my announcements for this evening, and thank you, Mayor and Council.
Thank you. Yeah, that grant is a big, big deal. We started talking about that grant on ACTC, and you can be for sure that when we started talking about it, it was the bicycle program that we pitched. And the nice thing is that when we were funded, we did not get all the funding, but then we went back to them and asked, why didn't we get all the funding? And then they reconsidered, and then they gave us all the funding. So that's a big deal, and potentially we're going to see literally a generation of bicycle users in the city of Hayward very shortly, and the city will be the ones facilitating that with the school district. So this is a big, big, big deal for the city, and just living a healthier, greener city. So anyways, great. I'm glad that happened. Okay. Thank you for that. And then I'd like to move on to our action items. We have our consent calendar. And I believe somebody wanted to pull item 5. I believe that was Mr. Gunn. Did you want that pulled? Okay, so before you get up, I wanted to see if I can get a motion for items 1 through 4 and 6 through 8.
I'll move them.
I think it was moved by Councilmember Syrup, seconded by Councilmember Andrews. And I also wanted to add an edit for consent item 7. Staff identified a minor typographical error in the resolution. The reference to Exhibit H in the 5th paragraph should refer Exhibit E instead. And so I would ask that the motioner and the seconder would accept that edit.
Accepted.
Okay, thank you. So, if there are no objections, items 1 through 4, 6 through 8 will pass unanimously. And then now I'll go to item number 5, and then a public comment, I believe. Mr. Gunn, does Mr. Gunn need a separate card for item number 5, or he can just use the same card? Okay, we're going to save paper today, so you can use item number 5.
Hello, thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you so much for fixing Tyrell. We're definitely going to need that, and I'm super happy to see that bike lanes are going to be put in as well. As you know, there was this very deep crack and pothole right where the bike lane should be if it existed. And so I wanted to first appreciate you for that. The one thing I want to call your attention to is Lighted Court, which is not on this list. It's typically used as a cut through for people who go on Tennyson trying to get to Huntwood. It's also where our buses run through, and that wear and tear on that street is very high, considering it doesn't necessarily need to be a cut through. People could just go to Huntwood straight from Tennyson. So I would love to see some sort of attention brought to that area before it gets too bad. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So with that said, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move the item.
Moved by Councilmember Andrews,
Second.
second by Councilmember Roach. And if there are no objections, it will unanimously pass. Thank you.
Mayor Salinas, my apologies. So on this item, you get to vote via the
Oh,
item
okay.
flag.
Okay.
Yes.
So I withdraw that, and then we do, if you look on your screens, and I just got a high five from Councilmember Andrews. It is a very celebratory occasion tonight. Her monitor works.
Good.
So
I believe we just need one more vote.
that's me. I got caught up in the moment, Madam City Clerk. And it unanimously passes. Thank you very much. Okay, next, I'd like to move on to council reports and announcements. Are there any council reports and announcements? I had one, an announcement or a report actually. On Thursday, we had our State of the City address at Cal State East Bay. I just really wanted to thank Cal State University East Bay President Kathy Sandine for hosting us. This was I know there was a State of the City address back in the, I don't know, early 90s, I believe, there at Cal State. But this was the first time where we had such a really an event, a full-blown production of, I mean, technology and, stage handling. And it was pretty an impressive operation. And it was staff and the city manager's office, and it just did an outstanding job. But I just wanted to thank Cal State East Bay, the president and the community up there for hosting us. Wanted to thank everybody for coming out. And I know Councilmember Bonilla was out of town, but he still joined us on Zoom. And I wanted to thank all my colleagues for attending. And believe it or not, this weekend I started thinking about 2025 of all things. I texted the city manager. I said, I have an idea for 2025. So anyways, but it was good. It was a good event, and I just wanted to say thank you to everybody. So if there are no more speakers, I will close council reports and announcements, and there are no council referrals. Ladies and gentlemen, Councilmember Syrup. Meeting adjourned at 7:18 p.m.